If you were to point the most beautiful road in the USA, most of you would probably say Route 66. The same was in our case. Unfortunately, our road didn't include driving through all of the most iconic American roads. Luckily, while planning the road trip, we found out about the existence of mysterious Scenic Byway 12, which is considered the most picturesque road in the USA. Looking at the map, it's located more or less between our previously visited spots Arches together with Canyonlands National Parks and Zion, which was the next place to drop by. As a car monkey, I couldn't just let it go. So we changed the track, and after a night spent on a camping ground in Hanksville, we turned to Route 24, which seemed promising as it led through colorful canyons. In the town of Torrey, we turned left, ending up on Byway 12. And spoiler alert, as it turned out, it was my number one of our road trip. Hill climbs through the woods, winding up hills and down hills, canyons, narrow gorges, tunnels made in the rocks, roads leading through the hills' peaks, constantly changing landscape. And obviously, sports cars and bikers who rejoice it just like I did. All of it made me fall in love with the place, and I envy everyone who will have a chance to drive through that road. Especially the participants of American Dream 2017, a road trip organized by Positive Waves, who will not only drive through the 12 but also 66, driving in the modern muscle cars. One thing I regret is not being able to drive my GT4 there.
That's it when it comes to the motor part. Nevertheless, it can't be forgotten to mention the tourist attractions located by the State Road 12. On the road, 120 miles long, there are 9 landmarks, of which 2 brought our greatest attention, namely the Red Canyon and the Head of the Rocks. The Head of the Rocks viewpoint is one of the most recognizable spots in the area of Scenic Byway 12. The view spreads as far as an eye can see, and just imagine that 168 million years ago, these breathtaking rocks had the form of sand dunes. There is a reason Red Canyon owes its name to red color. These rock formations, formed by erosion like in the case of the previous parks, are the reddest rocks we've ever seen. As it was mentioned, there are tunnels made of rocks close to the canyon, with a road running through them. Only 60 miles away from the marvelous road, you can find Zion National Park, the most epic fail of our trip. We went there with the conviction that, like in the case of the previous parks, the main attractions would be located close to the road. They weren't. Had we got the essential equipment, it wouldn't have been problematic, but we hadn't, so we had to resign from going to the fairy tale-like spot called the Narrows, and we ended up only admiring the majestic mountains. Additionally, the camera's memory card died, so we apologize, but we are incapable of showing you more material from the park. There's no doubt that Zion deserves its reputation, that's why we encourage you to visit it, but we recommend taking the essential equipment.
After the fail in Zion, we headed to Page, Arizona, located at Lake Powell, which was the starting point to our next destinations, Horseshoe Bend and Monument Valley, which you will see next week.